Okay, so what's an agile? Agile is an incremental, iterative and incremental process. So it has various, sub-levels. Okay, so it's not like, if you're doing agile, it's a pretty broad statement. Okay, if somebody says that yeah, we are doing an agile, we don't know what they are doing, because agile has various subparts, like Scrum. Scrum is more famous, like it's a lot of people gather at one point, and a lot of things happen. And the Kanban is simple. We go through this. That's just we take 15 to 20 minutes how to understand that. That's pretty simple. And next, we have extreme programming. So these are what the procedure that we follow in agile. So it may be all of them. The company might follow all of the features, and company might stick to only one thing, that's Scrum, only Kanban, only extreme programming, or keyword driven, all those things. Okay, anything, so we'll discuss here. We are discussing about Scrum. Kanban, we'll go, we'll just look this, just we'll have an overview. How is this? It's pretty simple. Just movement of user stories from one point, from one here to one point, from here, another point from here to there. So that's it. This is a little bit more detailed in Scrum, because you involve a lot of people here, and that a lot of people are not involved. You can just sit at your own desk and do your work. That should be good. Here, in Scrum, it's a ceremonial, right? I mean, a lot of people gather here, and a lot of meetings happen. So it's this is a lot of meetings actually. Okay, so let's go to the terminology. So we'll go through this terminology before jumping into agile. Before knowing what agile is, we'll just have some brief idea here. So there is a thing called Scrum team. Scrum. What is a Scrum? Scrum is also part of that agile. It's an iterative and incremental process. And whenever you say Scrum, that means you are referring to team. Scrum is kind of group of people. It's like group of people that contains. Here you see this product owner, Scrum master, and development team. Okay, these group of people consist to call as Scrum. If you're working in team, so that's why it's called as team. Okay, Scrum team. So Scrum is an iterative and incremental process. It's a part of the agile, and group of people working together to achieve the goal. So that's called Scrum. Okay. So here you see, if you look here, product owner, Scrum master, so it's good. Development team. Where is testers here? So there are no testers here. So here in agile, they are slowly trying to eliminate the testers. Okay, so they're slowly trying to eliminate the testers, but that thing doesn't happen, right? So it's not, it's not easy. It's not easy to just remove a tester from, from the team and say, okay, we are done with this, because as I told you before in my previous classes that okay. So a developer, even if a developer wants to test an application, even a developer wants to, test anything, whatever they want, but always developer test an application based on business point of view. So they'll always see, is my code good? I'm good. Okay. So they don't care the code, whatever it's an old code, is a new code, or how the application is behaving after that code. It is not their job, right? They don't care about it. So that's the reason, right? I specifically, say that the developer always, whenever developer tests it, they test based on business point of view. So what business wants? So they want this application that's ready. They want the fields that's ready. They're good. But is that really working? They don't care about it. Okay, so they don't worry about it. That it's not their job. So development cannot replace testers. And the testers is always views as a customer point of view, as a user point of view. So I'm the user, right? I'm the user. How am I supposed to know? Is it like working or is it not? So as a user, I'm not giving job to user, right? So that's the reason you hire a tester there. So you need to tester always, test an application based on customer point of view, user point of view. So here they are trying to eliminate here, but that's not possible really. I mean, you cannot have a development without a tester because the whole thing gets screwed up. Of course, you can design an application, whatever application you want. If there are no testers, if there are bugs at the end of the day, and that's not going to fix because they're not going to notice it. If they don't notice it, customers gets billed for that bugs. Okay, customer gets customer don't care. The business is the loss, right? That's how it ends. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's a business that is the who loses the business. Okay, it's a company who loses their business. So that's a Scrum team. Okay, product owner, Scrum master, and development team consist of a Scrum team. Next, so that's what you need to say. See, somebody will say, right? So let's say your boss. Your boss says, okay, so testers, we don't need testers. Why are you here? So sometimes they come up with some vague, random question. No, we don't hire testers. Why are we supposed to hire you? And this is a pretty good question, right? I mean, you ask in an interview too. So it's a good question. So if you are in agile, doesn't matter if you're agile, whatever. We don't hire testers anymore. We don't require testers, right? We have development team, we have Scrum team, which consists of Scrum master, product owner. We don't need testers. So that's the reason we need to give an explanation that why the testers are required and why not development team can do that job. They cannot do that job. Okay. So because testers is completely different skill altogether, different way of working, way of different thing is altogether. So product owner. So product owner in agile it's called product owner. In waterfall methodology or any other methodology, they're called as business analyst. So both same guy, different terminology, same job, same responsibilities, different terminology. Here you are using a different term here. You're using product owner instead of business analyst. Okay, same guy. So here he is responsible for maintaining product backlog. So we'll go through this product backlog. What is product backlog, and how we are going to do that. Okay, and stakeholders. Whoever is responsible for somebody is actually investing on it, right? Somebody is investing. Okay, this application should go in production. This is if this goes in production, this is how we get business. That's how business gets profit. So those are the stakeholders. Okay, and to make sure development team is doing what the business says. So whatever the business say, so that's the business owner is the person who is responsible for creating the requirements, communicating the developer, and maintaining the product backlogs and all those things. Okay, that's the product owner. Then you have Scrum Master. Scrum Master here. Okay, in Agile, it's called Scrum Master. In waterfall methodology or any other methodology, he or she is called project manager. So here is a project manager. Okay. So project manager, what's his job? See, we go through this. Okay. So what is Scrum Master is very important. Okay, so in my one of my project, see, people are working from 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. They don't know the responsibility of Scrum Master, right? They don't know this, what are the duties and what are the responsibility of Scrum Master and what they are supposed to do. Okay, so here, so manager, your boss, boss don't have technical knowledge. Trust me, if you're a tester, trust me. Developers, of course, their bosses have some reasonable knowledge on technical side, but testers, no, the testers boss don't have any knowledge of any technical point of view. So what happens, right? So what happened? They had some, let's say, what happened in my case was there's Scrum Master, and I was, giving my defects. I was, submitting defects because I want to escalate my defects. Why? Because I already communicated with the developer. They said no, we don't have time. we are working on priority issue. This issue is in the production, and it has to be good. It's long back, and a lot of complaints and a lot of things are happening. We are not working on this issue, so this is not going to, we are not working this anytime soon on this issue. So no, that's not good. That's not good because it's your job is to test, and you are testing it, but developer is not responsible, is not taking responsibility for that. So now you are the one who get caught. You are the one who get caught and saying that why this was not completed. Why didn't you communicate to the developer? Okay. So now what is my next thing is I will communicate to Scrum Master, saying that, hey, I already given to this developer, and developer says they are working on priority issue. That's fine. They're working some production issue, but this is something which this should be get fixed. I don't care who fixes it. I don't care whoever fixes this. My job is to open defects, and that's why Scrum Master responsibility is a bridge. He or she is a bridge between developers and testers. Okay, so what happened, right? So, my boss really called me, said, why are you sending the defects to Scrum Master? Right? So, that's a very good question. Like, why are you sending defects? You have to send defects to developer, not Scrum Master, right? That's a very good question. So, what I said, like, based on my experience, based on my knowledge, Scrum Master is a bridge. It's a bridge between developers and testers. You cannot just remove Scrum Master and not doing their job, right? See here, we'll see here. Okay, so it's not that what I'm saying from my own. Here it's what written. Okay, this is not my own made up story. I didn't made up anything here. We'll see just here. Oh, let's see. Here you go. Okay. To avoid and remove the impediments. So impediments, what are impediments? It's a defects. It's whatever defects. So this is the job of a Scrum Master. Okay, what does Scrum Master do? He is actually removing the impediments and deliver the product. So if somebody asks, your boss asks, why are you giving the defects to Scrum Master? Why not developer? Then in that case you need to tell them clearly. Or just tell them this URL. Okay, why don't you read this? Okay, why don't you read and go through this? Saying that Scrum Master's responsibility is to, remove the impediments. That means defects. Okay, and he or she is responsible to coordinate with the developer and fix the issue, whatever it's there. Okay, so that's the major responsibility. So nobody knows. So after that, when I told, they said okay. So they changed the whole team again. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay. So that's the job of a Scrum Master, to remove the impediments. Okay, they are the bridge between testers and developers and testers. Okay, because developers won't do whatever you say. That's right. Why they have? They're not getting paid to do their job. They are getting paid to do their job, right? So what you need to do is, but you need to get your issue fixed. Get your issue solved, right? So you need to coordinate with Scrum Master. Okay, so that's the Scrum Master. Then you have development team. Development team. Okay, this is we don't have a lot of. Let's say you're working on pretty big. Okay, it's a big project, but the way the projects is divided, we can communicate with the other team. So each team, it's not. You don't need more than 5 to 6 person. That is one Scrum Master, one Java developer, one web developer, one tester. That's good. You don't need too many people. Okay, but if you need other than that, let's say you are working on Java developer, but it's the Ajax. When you need Ajax developer, so you need to coordinate with other teams. If you don't have the resource in that team, in that case, you need to coordinate with the other resource, or so that you can do this. It is little bit flexible. Okay, you don't have to stick on one thing unless specified by your boss. Okay, so this is. Okay, so that's about the development team. Okay, then let's go to, these are the charts. So we know it's a chart. This is like sprint burn down chart and iteration burn down chart. Okay, so this is, let's say this is burn down chart. And these days there's no need to print all this is to have this, big printers, that, heavy printers that you print a lot of, and big sheet of paper and stick around the walls and a lot of things. But now it's not really required. So we don't waste all those resources now. Why? Because everything is plotted online, right? So, if you see this rally, this is already done. It's just we go to the reports and we find all these reports in online. You don't need any more this heavy charts and show everyone there, because it was a traditional way to design all this. But now you see here, everything it will do it for you. Once you plot all these are good, it plots itself for you. Okay, so that is a chart for you. So you can have a number of chart based on your requirement and design the chart. But this job is for Scrum Master. Testers or developers don't do this. Scrum Master, design this chart. Okay, so what are those? Like sprint burn down chart, release burn down chart, product backlog. Okay, so these two, and we have more. Okay, so we have different reports here. You see iteration burnup, velocity charts, iteration defects by priority, and even if you don't find any chart here, you can make it your own chart. Go ahead and click on add new and customize your own chart. Okay, so these are sample charts here shown: burn down chart and sprint burn down chart and release burn down chart. Okay, so those are the reports. Okay, so let's go to go to sprint. So what is a sprint? Sprint is a time boxed. Okay, sprint is a time box. Okay, and what you do in that is you want to have set of priorities, list of backlog items. So what are the backlogs? And we let's say one sprint. Okay, let's say that sprint lasts for 1 month. So as per our company policy, one sprint is, that means 1 month. Okay, that's 30 days. It's normally 1 to 4 weeks. Whenever 1 week is pretty small. If it's big project, you don't want to do in 1 week. It takes some time. So sprint. So whenever I say sprint, you can think as 1 month. Not necessarily 1 month. It's you can have 20 days or 10 days. However the project is. But here, for the sake of convenience, for sake of understanding, we take sprint means 1 month. 2 sprints, 2 months, 3 sprint, 3 months, 4 sprint. Okay, so whatever the backlogs, what are there in one sprint, we'll be clearing that backlog. So that's called sprint backlog. Okay, it's a prioritized list of tasks that you need to complete. Okay, so that is sprint. And then we have impediments. Okay, you can go ahead and read all this. Okay, so these keep on coming, new features keep on coming in Agile, people keep on adding. Okay, so you can go ahead and read this, what it has. Impediment. So what is an impediment? Impediment is defect. You can say that defect. Okay, so it's like, it can be an issue, it can be it can be a bug, it can be a defect. Okay, so that's called impediments. In waterfall methodology, you call it a defect. In Agile, you call it as impediments. Okay, even coordination is impediment. Okay, so if you are not coordinating, that means it's an issue from your side. Okay. And we'll go to just quickly product backlog. So we didn't discuss about product backlog. So what is the product backlog? Okay, product backlog is a very high level requirements. Okay, very high level. So let's take an example. Okay, so it can be as high level as one line statement. Okay, so this is designed by who? Product owner. Product owner designed this product backlog. So they can put into an Excel, put that Excel and just put one line statement. So let's take in here, let's say if you have the product backlog of GMO online. Okay, let's say we want the product backlog of GMO online. So what would be product backlog? So they would end up saying that design GMO online. So here we don't have any technical information like how many buttons it has to contain, how many images it has to contain, what's the text in it here, and what are the features what will be available, all those things we don't even know that. So this product backlog is pretty very high level, and just by looking at just one line statement, you will not able to identify what are the features, what are its functionalities, what are the ETL developing will be working on, what are the various scripts you need to require. You don't know anything. So that's called product backlog. It's a very high level requirement. Just one line statement. It could be as high level as one line statement. Design GMO online. Okay. So that is product backlog. Okay. So later it has to be classified, it has to be divided into chunk of work, then you have to design the whole website based on that. Okay, so here let's quickly check the process. Okay, so this is how this agile works. So this is you have this product backlog. Okay, this is the product backlog, and there are let's say the 4 blocks. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and each block is pretty high level. We don't know what's going on in that. No technical information whatsoever, because you need a lot of technical information to proceed with that. But in this case, you don't have any. So as I told you, like it may be design GM online. So here, if you have these 4 blocks, that means that 4. Let's say if you have these 4 web pages, let's say 1 web page and 2 web page, and 3 web page. Okay, so this 3 web page, 3 or 4 web page. Let's say you want to design this too. So that's why it's called 4. It has 4 blocks. Okay, and each block goes into sprint backlog. Sprint backlog, again I said, like 1 month. Let's take 1 month. So 4. You have 4 months to complete one block of product backlog. Okay, so for so total, like for complete designing of this GM online, how many months will it take? Let's say 4. 4 are 16 months. So by 12 to 16 months, this whole web page will be designed and tested. Okay, that's how it means, by these 2 blocks here, 2, product backlog and sprint backlog. What you do product in backlog, it contains a very high level of requirement, very high level requirements. And what does it sprint backlogs contains? It contains various tasks, priority, whatever the prioritized task will be contained in sprint backlog. Okay. And here it contains little bit of technical information. Okay, it's not, again, it's not too detailed, but technical information, what's going on. And you again have, this is again divided into user story. This sprint backlog is again divided into user story. So that's what we were working on so far, right? If you remember, we were working on user stories. Okay, so that's how you divide this work. Okay, so each sprint, let's say each sprint is going on 30 days. Okay, 30 days we complete this each sprint, and then after completing it, we deliver the software. So this is about agile. This is all about the agile. Your product backlogs, pretty very high level requirements, and you don't even have any technical information whatsoever. That is classified into 4 different sprint backlogs. That means 4 months, and each has some information about technical information. Now you know what what's going on, and what we still don't know what we have to do, because sprint backlog, but you know what's going on. Okay, so you are designing some web page, you're designing some buttons here, you're designing some images, a lot of things are happening in sprint backlog. Then this sprint backlog is actually classified the user story, which you don't see here, which is we worked on it. Okay, here here what we are looking into this user story. Okay, so we designed this web page. Okay, so that's what we are doing it. So that user story contains technical information. Then you figure it out. So what's going on? Okay, So once you complete, so that means, let's say in one sprint backlog, let's say one sprint backlog contains 10 user stories. You don't want more user stories here again, okay? 10 to 20, 20 is a lot. Okay? 10 to 15 is, that's it. You know, you don't want to go beyond that. 10 user story max. 5, 6 is good. You know, the small team, better efficient. Okay. So each, you know, each sprint backlog, 10 user stories. Okay. 10, that means like, you know, 10 fourths are 40. 40 user stories you complete in 4 months, that's fine. And each sprint takes 30 days and you deliver the software. So this is how, you know, Agile overview. Any questions so far in Agile? In this overview, does anyone have any questions? Okay, so I hope you guys understood this Agile, right? So next we'll go through different meetings. Okay, so we know what is an Agile. So we know Agile, it's an iterative and implemented process. How does it work? You know, we have product backlog, you know, that is divided into sprint backlog, and each sprint 30 days, and you know, every sprint we are releasing this product, you know, product, and you know, we are good 4 months, you know, 12 months. We have designed whole different, you know, web page like GM Online, and you know, we have designed every, you know, features, every small information what is integrated in it. We have done for 12 months, and this is good. Okay, so that's how, you know, Agile. So, but in real time, it's not really like that. You know, in real time, what happens, right? This is already website. There's some add new features to it. Okay, the new features will take some time. So 1 month. So okay, so new features like, you know, let's say, you know, you didn't have this button reset form. They add a new button. Now it has to perform some functionality, right? What is trying to do? So that will take, you know, that might be in one sprint. Okay, one sprint. Now you're not doing just one button in one sprint. You have 2, 3 options there. 2, 3, you know, work is also, you know, you'll be doing it. Okay, so all this will be, you know, we'll be adding new features or removing the old features, and you know, having a new application. So all this will be happening in the process. Okay. So if everyone are good, then let's move to the next one. So here is just, you know, take a quick look. What are the responsibilities and you know, duties of other, you know, the product owner? What does the product owner does? Okay, what the development team? You know what the development team? We just need to know what they do. Is that a guy web developer? Is that HTML developer? Is that Ajax developer? Or is that ETL developer? So on. Okay, lot of, you know, they have their own specific, you know, in their field. They will be only developing that. In all this, you know, they will be only developing that particular, you know, feature or that particular. Sometimes they are JavaScript, you know, they are JavaScript developer. Okay, not everyone can do everything, right? So that's the reason, you know, there are limited people in your team. Then you have this Scrum Master. Scrum Master, you know, the main and major responsibility for a tester. You know, for me, if I go as a tester, for me, Scrum Master, like I want, like, you know, what did I prefer? The responsibility is to remove the impediments, whatever, you know. Here's the thing: to avoid the impediments, and you know, we need to work forward. Okay, so that's the responsibility of Scrum Master. Okay, so let's go to the, now you'll be having lot of meetings. Okay, so a lot of things have happen. So you have, so for every sprint, so again we know what is sprint, right? Sprint is time boxed unit. Okay, and it is, you know, we'll take it for ease of understanding 1 month. So that means one sprint is 1 month, 2 sprint 2 months. Okay, and So here you will be having sprint planning. So now you have 1 month. What you are going to do in 1 month? So you will be having that planning meeting. Okay, that's called sprint planning. Okay, so that's called sprint planning. And what you do is you discuss a lot of things there. Okay, what are the user stories we are going to be working on. Okay, what are the user stories we'll be testing here? How many user stories are there in the sprint? So all this will be discussed in the sprint planning. Why it is being here? Okay, why not in different sprint? Okay, there might be some reason, right? Because this is a priority issue, so we'll be working on this priority, and that's why. So that is called sprint planning. What you do here, you communicate the scope of work. Okay, what we are doing here and how many user stories we are really supposed to work here, and what is the priority user stories that should be worked. So all these things will be discussed in sprint planning. There is also one more call which is not listed here. This is a sprint grooming session. So sprint grooming, the sprint planning lasts for, it's almost like 4 to 6 hours. So it lasts for 4 to 6 hours, and they will make sure, they put it right in the lunchtime. Once, you'll just put it from 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and just make sure that it lasts for 3 p.m. Okay. So, be ready to take that, okay, because it will take at least, even if it doesn't take that much time, 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, of course, it will be, there will be meeting for sprint planning. So who are invited here? So here we are, Scrum Master. Of course, Scrum Master actually decides this meeting, okay, and developers, testers. If developer manager is good with technical, then we will be working with him. Otherwise, we don't require any managers in this. Okay, no managers are invited here, and really it's not really required because managers are not really in technical side, so they will not be in sprint planning unless they are technical and they know what's going on with the team, and they know what they are doing. Okay, so otherwise they are not invited in sprint planning. Only developers, testers, scrum master, business analyst, product owner. That's it. And just 4-hour limit. We have just 4 hours, and we'll be discussing the user stories. So, what's up with the user story, why we have to do, and what we are going to do, and how it's going moving forward with that. How we are going to move forward with that. So that's sprint planning. So okay, so you also have this sprint grooming session. That's also similar to planning, sprint grooming. If you miss something in sprint planning and you want to decide, you need to do one more, so you go for sprint grooming. Okay, so sprint grooming is normally you want to organize that user stories. Okay, what are the tasks? What are the user stories? Which user story has to be done? Why this is here? Why not here? Explanation from business and from the business, and an explanation from developer team why it has to be done. So all these things should be done in sprint grooming. Okay, why it should be here, why not there, and why it's a priority issue. Why not? We already have. Let's say we already have 10 user stories. We cannot take it more because a lot of work, and we have only 1 month, 30 days, and this software product should go out. And so we cannot do this with having more and more user stories. So that's why you need sprint grooming. And let's say what user stories are not priority, move it to the next release, next sprint, goes to the next sprint. Okay, so that's about sprint planning and sprint grooming. Any questions in sprint planning and sprint grooming? Okay, so let's go to the next one, daily scrum. Okay, so what is the daily scrum? So daily scrum is a meeting again. So what we are talking here about is all meeting. Okay, planning. Okay, so planning, daily scrum, these are all meetings. Okay, meetings. We are talking about meeting. Okay, This planning session lasts for 4 hours. That's we can see here. Here we go. 4 hours. And daily scrum is just for 15 minutes. And it's daily. You are having this meeting. You look at here. These are people are in the daily scrum meeting. Okay. And what are we going to do here? So here you are discussing about four important things. Okay. What have you done yesterday? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? And what are the impediments that is stopping you to do the work? Okay. These four important things. Okay. Remember this for what you discuss in daily scrum is what have you done yesterday? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? And what are the impediments that is stopping you to do your job? Okay, so that's the daily scrum. You have this daily, okay, and it is supposed to last only 15 minutes at the max. You're not going just 30 to 1 hour. So if you're moving to 30 minutes, and if it is lasting for 1 hour, you're doing something wrong. Okay, you're not moving, so it should be quick. 15 minutes. This starts from 9 a.m. and 9 a.m. to 9:15. That's it. You don't go 9:30, 10. No, if it goes beyond 10, then you are doing something wrong. You are not doing any daily scrum there. Okay, so that's a daily scrum. It's just supposed to last for 15 minutes, and you are only discussing about what have you done yesterday, what are you going to do today, what are you going to do tomorrow, and what are the impediments that is stopping you to do the job. Okay, that means defects. Okay, if it's a defects issue, or if is it a defect, or it's a coordination issue, or it's a risk, or whatever. Okay, so that thing you discuss in the daily scrum. Okay, so any questions so far in daily scrum? So let's move to the next meeting. So we'll be having full of, so agile is completely full of meetings because it's a ceremonial way of doing the work. A lot of gathering of people is required here. Okay, so next you have review and retrospective meeting here. Okay, review. So what is the review and retrospective? This lasts for end of the sprint. Let's say you have completed the sprint. Sometimes you completed a sprint, you are in the next sprint, but you need to complete that review and retrospective meeting that is for previous sprint. Okay, let's say you are in the sprint 2 and it's going on, and you need to complete the sprint 1 retrospective. Okay, so what you do here in review and retrospective sprint, so here is the three main important thing. Okay, what went good in the sprint, what did not go good in the sprint, how can we improve moving forward. So that's the three important things we will be discussing here. Okay, so this it's not really long, this also less than an hour or so, and you're discussing about what went good, what didn't go well, and how can we improve. So that's what the review and retrospective meeting is about. Okay, this is what you discuss in the review and retrospective meeting. Okay. Any questions so far? So this is about agile. So agile, in agile, if you're talking about the scrum, Scrum is an iterative and incremental process for the software development, and it's you have a lot of if you are comfortable with the terminology, let's go to the terminology. Who is the product owner, who is Scrum Master, who is the developers, who is the testers. Okay, once you're good, then we have the sprint. We have product backlog. We need to work with the sprint backlog. Okay, once the sprint arises, 30 days of time you need to deliver the project, and we work for a week. So that's an overview of, and we have this meetings here, 3 major meetings, sprint planning session we have, again daily scrum we have, and third one is review and retrospective meeting. Okay, and so let's quickly check. So here's the thing of doing the sprint in traditional way. Okay, this is a traditional way of doing the sprint. Okay, so you have this big board, and you have like 5 columns here: stories to do, in progress, testing, sprint ends. Let's say sprint ends at this time. Okay, you have plenty of user stories here. You see this white papers attached to that white papers. In the story section, that's called user stories. Okay, you have a big column here. Okay, and okay, let me really show who is not able to see this. Okay, good. So this is the user stories. Okay, these are the user stories. Okay, this is one line. Okay, we know this is one line statement. Okay, and whenever you start, see, whenever the sprint planning, so this is all decided once in the sprint planning which user story has to go. So what we do is, let's say let's talk about the sprint planning very quick. So you decide, okay, this is the story is going in this sprint. Okay, and Scrum Master says how many days will it take, or how many hours will it take to complete this whole user story. Now hours is not really possible. Okay, so you cannot complete this. Even if you complete in 3-4 hours one user story, you need to start testing again. So that requires days, not hours. Okay, so how many days will it take to complete an user story? Now here, as a tester, you have no knowledge about what the user story is about, and we do not know anything what's going on. So here the developer has an advantage. It says, okay, so this user story will take 5 days. Now what's the 5 days about? That includes 3 days for developing and 2 days for testing. So that is includes both. Okay, so that's 5 days doesn't mean just 5 days for developing. 5 days means the developer also told you on behalf of you, because we have no knowledge of what was the user story. Now the Scrum Master argues on this, saying that no, that's not, we don't have 5 days. If you completing one user story for 5 days, what about the other user stories? There's a pretty large list of other user stories. 5 days is gone for this. We are doing the other. So no, we cannot do this less than 5 days. Somebody has to jump into the argument, or some other developer, or some your boss or manager of the developer, technical, who are good in technical, and they said, no, we need this for 5 days because this is not from our team. Okay, there is a lot of development required, and we need to coordinate with the other teams. We need to coordinate with the other development team who is not really in our team, and is offshore and onshore, a lot of issues, and we need to coordinate. And there is a dependency on this, that those there's dependencies on the jobs, dependencies on the ETL point of view, dependencies on the a lot of things. So we cannot complete this user story in 3 days. So now Scrum Master says, okay, makes sense. There are dependencies and there's a lot of team involved. Okay, 5 days is good. Okay, and then that's how that user story. Okay, so 5 days for this. That means 3 days for development, 2 days for testing. Or now testing is no big deal. That's just a script, and it doesn't affect the UI the most. UI is not really required. testing should be 1 day. So that 4 days for development, 1 day for testing. So that's how this user story goes. Okay. So this is all discussed in the sprint planning session. Okay. So let's say now if we are discussed this, all the user stories are discussed in a similar way. Okay. And then let's say you are in daily scrum meeting. Okay. Now you have daily scrum meeting. You have decided all the user stories. Okay. So whenever you see the sticky notes here, you see the sticky notes. So these are the sticky notes, right? These are sticky notes. Okay. These sticky notes, once what happens whenever to do, it's in a to-do list. That means this task has to be completed. Now, always developer raises the sticky note first. So you cannot start testing before the development is completed, right? You cannot do that. You can only complete your testing once the development is done. Okay. So always the sticky notes will start from development point of view, and once the sticky notes move here, says okay, now first day you have 5 days, next day you have 4 days, next day we have we have done good, we'll just take 2 more days and we are good. Okay, once it's done, then the sticky notes will move into in progress column. Once it moves into in progress, it says okay, this is done. Developer says okay, we are done with this. By today we have completed this, and you can go ahead and start testing with that. After that, testing sticky notes starts from there. Okay, so that moves from one column to another column, and from another column to another column, and once testing 2 days or 1 day, and then you move both the sticky notes here. Okay, saying that development and as well as testing is done. So this is traditional way of doing the work. This is pretty traditional. No more this kind of things I don't think these are used anymore. But yeah, they might still use it. In Rally, it's pretty simple. We don't do all this. Okay, we don't move any sticky notes here. Okay, we have this Team Foundation server. We can move sticky notes online. Okay, we'll go through this. Maybe hopefully in the last class. We'll maybe by 22nd. I'll discuss about Team Foundation server. Let's see how we can move the sticky notes from one point to another point online. Not the traditional way. The traditional way, nobody, I don't think anyone does anymore. Here, this is, you can do it here. The schedule state. This is, you can say it as movement of your user story. Movement of your user story or movement of your task. So, which is first defined, in progress, completed, and accepted. This is similar to here. Okay, it's a similar, not same. I'm not saying this is replaced completely by doing this, but what I'm trying to say is here you are doing the movement of your user stories. So it's a similar one. Okay, from one point to another column. Here also you're doing from defined in progress, from in progress to completed, and then accepted. Which status is ready? You just click on ready. Here your plan estimates, as I told you, we plan in the planning session. How much time will take, how much, what are the dependencies to this, why this is 10, why this is 5, all this we will be already discussed in the sprint planning session. Okay. Task is for our convenience, not really a task. What is a task? But here, this is for our convenience, because if you have more than one work you're doing here, okay. You're doing functional testing. Let's say the sticky notes. Okay, you might not have all the information here, but let's say we want to do functional testing and as well as system testing. Then you want to put a task here, 2 tasks, saying that okay, we are doing functional testing as well as system testing, and okay, so we are pretty much organized here. So we have 2 sets of test cases. One is for functional and other is for system, and we write the test cases here. Okay, so that's how if you want to compare this two, that's how you can compare. But this is not really comparison. Okay, this is this is completely different thing altogether. But this system has been replaced completely with the online system. This is no more. As per my knowledge, I don't think anyone is using here. But of course, they might be using. Okay, some companies they might be using it. Okay, so that's how you do in the sprint. Okay, so that is about Scrum. It's all about. Any questions so far? So you can just look into this. So you will be having this to, since I have already explained you, it's there in the drive. Okay, so all these slides are in the drive. I hope everyone got access to the drive, right? So I hope everyone has access, and whoever don't have access, I've given this separate URL to the person, the people who have the, other than Gmail or Google access. I've given them a separate URL so they can access too. So here you have this in the share drive. If you see this, 26th drive QA class, if you click on that, you have this slide. You can go through this slide, okay? And you have pretty much all this, information here. Okay, you can go through that. Okay, so let's quickly check, what we have discussed. So, as we told you, like, agile, you have various methods to do it. Okay, Scrum, what we discussed. And extreme programming is a different way of doing that work. And ASD, adaptive software development. Then you have dynamic system development method. And you also have this Kanban. Kanban we'll just, discuss pretty quick. Hopefully by next week. And Scrum. So you can also go through this agile. Okay, so this is what we discussed. Okay, so you have product backlog, so you have sprint backlog, then you work for 30 days, and then you deliver product. Okay, Scrum artifacts. So this is, we go quickly through this Scrum artifacts. So this is the Scrum artifacts here: product backlog, sprint backlog, and burn down chart. So these are called Scrum artifacts. Okay, so what is a product backlog? It's a high level requirements, and it is managed and owned by product owner. So who is product owner? Business analyst. Spreadsheet. So as you can be explained, is spreadsheet. That's one line statement. That's it. And usually it's created by sprint planning meeting. Whenever you want to create it, just type really quick, and they just submit in the sprint planning. And they can change it too later. They can change it, and you want to, because this might be a priority, may not be a priority always. It is really required in the next Scrum, okay, or next sprint, next sprint, not Scrum, sorry, it's next sprint, and so they can really change it. So, as I told you, right, product backlog is only a forecast. That means it can be changed. They can change one line statement too. They make it 2 lines, 3 lines. That's it. And they can change whatever, because this has no technical information whatsoever. This product backlog has no technical information. As I told you, that can be as complex as saying GM online. That's it. Okay. And so we have discussed about the sprint. So okay, let's go to this advantages. So advantages is the major advantages, like it's pretty quick. That means 12-month project you're doing in 6 months and you are delivering it. Okay, so that's the major advantage. Drawback is um, it's here the major drawbacks, because here you are actually not working on quality, because waterfall methodology we saw that where you really are where cost, I'm sorry, where quality is more important than cost in waterfall. Here it's the other way. Where cost, if you're looking really on the cost, we don't have that much time to spend, and we don't have that much money to spend on employees. Let's do this in 6 months. So that's what we want to go here. So where cost is more important than quality, then you prefer agile. Okay. So that's it for today. Any questions so far? So if you don't have any questions, can we close this class for today? So we'll also check on certifications. So I'll be giving you homework, okay? Homework on certifications. Just make sure you guys do the certifications, okay? So it's free, okay? It's free, and so we'll discuss about that, okay? And the due date for that is by 21st. So you have 4 days, 4 days of time. You also have this final homework. So make sure you guys do it. So Sunday you might have some time, so you can work on it. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys.